In baking, there are a lot of substitutions that you can do that won't really change the texture or the taste in your baking at all, but there are a lot that do. And I'm going to be showing you guys in this video the different substitutions that you can do. If you guys have ever heard anybody say that baking is an exact science, people usually say that for a few different reasons. Most people, when they say that, are talking about that you need to be pretty careful that you have pretty exact measurements in baking, but also baking really is a science. It has a lot to do with the proteins and the fats and the sugars and how those all play together, and also it has to do with ratios. Your ratio from protein to fat and from liquid to solid and all that different stuff. Now for dairy, you can typically use any non-dairy alternative or your milk. The only thing I would say is for baking, you typically want to have the most fat possible. So you can, but I typically don't like to use any skim milk or 2% milk or stuff like that. I have in a pinch used to that, but typically you want to try to go for a full fat cow's milk or full fat almond milk or coconut milk or anything like that. And then there's buttermilk. Buttermilk is one of those things that I have been baking for about 10 years. I did not know that you could make homemade buttermilk until literally a few months ago. So all you do to make homemade buttermilk is use any milk. This could be cow's milk or it could be any milk alternative like almond milk or hemp milk or anything like that. And then you just put 1 tablespoon of any type of acid like lemon juice or vinegar into that, stir it up, and then just leave it to curdle for about 5 minutes. So if you don't have buttermilk, that is a perfectly fine alternative. If you don't have half and half, or you want to substitute something for that, say you needed 1 cup of half and half for a recipe, you would use a half of a cup of whole milk and then a half of a cup of heavy cream. And there you go, you have half and half. This one's a pretty cool one. If you don't have whole milk and you are looking for 1 cup, you can always use half of a cup of evaporated milk and then half of a cup of water. Or you can always use 1 cup of skim milk and then 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine melted and stir that up. You would have 1 cup of whole milk. And this is for baking. You don't want to drink that, obviously. It's not going to taste like whole milk. Now, what about sour cream? People typically put sour cream into their baking to make whatever they're baking a little bit more moist. But what if you don't have sour cream? You can also use Greek yogurt totally interchangeably. If you are using 1 cup of sour cream, you can use 1 cup of Greek yogurt. They aren't totally the same thing, but they taste pretty darn similar. I actually have done taste tests, like blind taste tests with my family, and they really can't tell the difference between Greek yogurt and, well, plain Greek yogurt, I should say. Obviously, blueberry Greek yogurt's gonna taste different. But plain Greek yogurt and sour cream taste pretty much the same. I actually, no word of a lie, have put Greek yogurt onto my baked potato when I didn't have sour cream, and it tasted pretty much the same. And also, I do have a video on my channel for making homemade sour cream that I can link up on the cards if you want to check that out. And that is about it. Let me know down in the comments if I missed anything or if you have any other questions. I kind of felt like this was kind of all over the place, so I hope it made a little bit of sense. I know it's a lot of information to take in, but I'm also going to be leaving a link to my blog down in the description. I do have a blog post there that has all that information written down for you, so you can go and check that out. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like down below, and I will be back next week to make another delicious mess with you guys. So subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss that. and I will see you all next time.